This is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. To be joined today by Justin Clark, who is Head of Sales and Tech Support for Americas, Australia, and New Zealand with DoorBird. The topic of conversation is, of course, mass notification, aligning with our mass notification deep dive, which will be all over CI plus SSI throughout the month of March. That includes the print issue, as well as commercialintegrator.com and securitysales.com, where we'll be spotlighting mass notification related content. DoorBird is a very well respected vendor that is really looking very closely at the mass notification category and preparing solutions that potentially could revolutionize the category. That's why we wanted to bring Justin in to share some of his thought leadership with us. Thank you so much, Justin, for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
So why don't we level set by talking about mass notification as a whole? Tell me why the category is important, why it's a really opportune area that DoorBird is looking at, and why our integrator audience should be thinking about mass notification if they haven't already gotten involved.
Quite simply, I think it has to do with saving lives. At least the focus in mass communication that DoorBird has is how can we contribute to overall safety, response time, rapid communication, and making sure individuals get that accurate information ASAP is critical in that space. So we can get behind something that saves lives for sure.
When you talk about getting behind something, I think most people know DoorBird doesn't have like a 10 or 20-year history of being the leading player in mass notification, but you do have a very well-respected brand, a very well-respected company, and it seems like you're looking at this category very, very seriously. You're not looking to just be a me too or something in the mass notification category. It seems like you're looking to bring innovation and value and really make a difference in the category. Is that your positioning right now? You're looking to make a meaningful impact in mass notification?
So certainly, and really, when you look at DoorBird, our product is very feature rich. It's IP intercom that allows you to customize and configure to the limit of your imagination. And so sometimes when you're presented with use cases, and it could be an installer asking if DoorBird can be used in this scenario, it stretches the mind a little bit. And what we've quickly realized is we play in the mass communication space very well. So for instance, our intercoms, obviously, there's a doorbell or there's a call button. Well, we have intercoms with two call buttons. So one could be designated, like normal for connecting, for instance, to the front office, and one could be designated for panic. That, native functionality is available with our intercoms today. So because of them being so feature rich, it's allowed us to look at opportunities, of course, in the mass communication space, and we recognize that it's a viable solution.
There's no doubt they're incredibly feature rich. Is there anything that you would want to add in terms of the innovation you can bring or solutions that you might be able to bring either in the present or in the future that could really revolutionize mass notification? Anything you might want to kind of whet our appetite or tease us with?
So we're definitely looking and exploring more options in the K through 12 space. You can have an intercom in every room that has, as I mentioned, that functionality with regular intercom functionality or panic. Additionally, we have units with fingerprints. So that means that I can actually have a button or a fingerprint reader, rather, that's connected to my index or connected to my middle finger. And when my middle finger is used, it sends a panic. And also another sequence of events, like, for instance, opening up a SIP call right there on the microphone that's broadcasted out toward the whole facility. Like that functionality, that ability to customize and configure is available today. So we are working with a mass communication player in the space, and we're looking for further integrations down the road.
So, in terms of the opportunity that presents itself, the opportunity that clearly DoorBird sees in exploring mass notification, would you say this is something that all of your integrator partners, all of your dealer partners should be looking at? Or would you say mass notification, again, given that lives can be on the line? I mean, we're talking about whether it's, tornadoes or earthquakes or, God forbid, an active shooter or something. Is this something that's only for a subset of integrators? I mean, this is very, very serious work. Is this something everyone should be looking at?
So I'll say this, that it's important enough that everyone should at least learn, right? I think whether or not they find opportunities within their space is dependent on what vertical they live in. But it is becoming so prevalent that we should at least learn and grow and be able to speak to it. I do feel that many would be surprised how easily they can move into that space with the right technology. Technology they may have already been working with, say our intercoms. Additionally, for those who live in the K through 12 space, absolutely, because safety is such a critical aspect of that community. Higher ed off campus, on campus housing, that'd be essential to that space as well. In any instance where we have large amounts of people coming and going, and at any given time, we need to make it safe. We need to lock down and we need to send data in a widespread, rapid way. I think the mass communication space is something we should dig further into.
So, just to begin to wrap up the interview, Justin, do you want to share any information people might need to be able to reach out to DoorBird? I mean, if they're looking to work with you specifically as they're looking to blossom in the mass notification category, how can they find out more? How can they connect with you? How can they get themselves set up to really leverage some of the benefit that DoorBird is going to be bringing to this category?
Sure. So, I mean, you can easily reach out to us going to doorbird.com. You'll find contact information for the team. And, working with Asa Abloy, now under Asa Abloy, we actually have individuals who are the experts in their space that now have an intercom and can help you to see, how that works with your world and where the opportunities in your vertical. So definitely reach out to us. We can kind of filter that as far as where we can best serve you and continue educating you and growing your business.
Well, speaking of educating, you've educated me, Justin. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I really appreciate you, Justin Clark, Head of Sales and Tech Support, Americas, Australia, and New Zealand from DoorBird, for joining us and giving us a great understanding of the opportunity in mass notification.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate the time.
My name is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. As I said at the outset, please check out our March issue of CI plus SSI, which features our mass notification deep dive, which includes a great contribution from DoorBird. Also, watch commercialintegrator.com and securitysales.com, where we're going to have a ton of mass notification related content throughout the month of March. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.